What's up, guys? My name is Miles.
And my name is Fez.
And this is The Commodity, and today we are reacting to the next economic powers of Asia. This video was requested to us quite a while ago by Sleepinggod. Sorry we haven't got to you yet, but here we are now. Thank you so much for the suggestion. We truly appreciate it. Guys, before we hop into this video, if you would, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. It truly helps us out in getting these videos out to more people. Also, if you would, go ahead and click the subscribe button and the bell notification icon. That way you guys can stay informed on our future videos. And if you'd like to help support the channel even more and get an exclusive YouTube short shout out that we truly enjoy doing, click the join button down below. So let's go ahead and check this out.
Let's do it. I'm Batman.
When you hear the word economic superpower, you will probably think about the United States, China, Germany, or Japan. But not too long from now, you will have different opinions. And this would be due to the new rising economic powers.
Wait, did it just say China, Germany, or Japan?
Who are they?
Yeah.
Why Germany? Are they going all the way back to World War II?
I guess they're Asia.
Didn't know that.
You have already guessed it from the thumbnail. After the World War II, Western countries went through rapid economic growth. That was also known as the Golden Age of capitalism. Then in the 80s, China started to pick up the pace due to its low-cost manufacturing. Similarly, from past 2 to 3 decades, some Southeast Asian countries are showing incredible growth in terms of economy. Experts believe that these Asian countries could be the next economic powers after the West. So, let's take a look. To begin, let's take Vietnam. The economy of Vietnam is a socialist-oriented market economy. It is the 44th largest in the world if measured by nominal GDP. But if we want to know the future of any nation, then first we have to look at its history.
So when we did videos, well, when we first started talking about Southeast Asia, it started with Vietnam.
With VinFast.
Yeah, with VinFast cars. And from what we learned, Vietnam was growing pretty rapidly. From where, like, when they started to take off, they started taking off rapidly.
Yeah. The only thing that I could see that would be holding them back is communism.
Yeah.
Vietnam has a long history of wars and distraction. Due to this, Vietnam lost its factories, cities, and countless citizens. Plus, it is a communist country, and they followed the Soviet-era economic model. Vietnam did not see any economic growth for a long time. But things started to change from 1986, when Vietnam launched the Doi Moi policy. It was a free market economic reform, which was aimed to restructure the centrally planned economy to socialist-oriented market economy. During 2008 to 2018, Vietnam achieved an impressive yearly average growth in its GDP of 6%. They also reached a 10-year high of 7.1% in 2018. In addition, unemployment rate was just 2.2% in 2018, which is the lowest in the world.
That's actually insane.
I would like to see what the GDP was before and what it is now, not just percentages.
Right. But with that being said,
2.2% of unemployment. But again, that could be because it is a communist country.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they probably have a place for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, you have to work.
Yeah.
Vietnam economically moved very fast even after suffering for many years from the war tragedy. This economic miracle of Vietnam is based on manufacturing, which was boosted by trade liberalization, domestic deregulation, and investment in human and physical capital. Vietnam's economic success is a result of providing necessary facilities for doing business with ease and confidence. They focused on improving infrastructure. Their special attention was on transport, telecommunication, and energy.
Those are pretty
and this has laid down the foundation for future growth. The country is also taking steps to develop the necessary skills through training.
It's so slow.
And now after this pandemic, Vietnam has a high chance of attracting investments, as they can provide similar facilities like China. So, this could become a game changer for Vietnam. Now we will look at the second most populous country in the world, India. After the end of British rule, India followed the Soviet economic model with the protectionist policy for economic growth. But after the fall of the Soviet Union in 1991, India switched to capitalist economy. After that, India's GDP almost doubled every 5 years.
Wow.
They achieved this growth even after half of its people work in the agriculture sector. Yet from the past decades, India is slowly switching from agricultural to the modern industry-based economy. Today, the major contributors of the Indian economy are the service sector, industry, and agriculture. Also, some big tech companies.
Hold on, let's go back. So, so if you're in the service sector, so I'm not against India, obviously, but I don't see how the service sector will help an economy grow.
Right,
I could be
because
completely wrong.
because you're keeping it all locally, is what I would think from the service sector, as opposed to outsourcing and importing and things like that.
But service is like, I could be completely wrong. What I understand is service sector is like anything that has to do with taking care of customers.
Right.
So like a waiter or.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're working with local stuff.
Right, but that's not going to make your economy.
That's what I'm saying. It's not going to make your economy, because you're not dealing with outsiders.
Exactly. Well,
Like you're not bringing money in from outside
right. So
to grow the economy.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Now, industry obviously will.
Yeah.
Agriculture theoretically could.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how much stuff, like we have a huge agriculture.
I mean, we got our durian from Vietnam. And that's their agriculture.
Right, but what's the percentage of that?
Right.
So I have no idea.
The service sector, industry, and agriculture. Also, some big tech companies are heavily investing in India. And due to tech investments like these, India stands a chance to become an electronic manufacturing hub. To know more about this, watch our video linked above. India has a huge local market, and its labor cost is also less compared to other countries. And this could attract huge investments in the coming time. Yet they have some problems like social and political unrest, lack of infrastructure, and wealth inequality. Although problems like these could resist investors.
It's a pretty house.
Now let's move towards Philippines. The Philippines is primarily considered a newly industrialized country. Philippines' economy is driven by its service, industrial, and agriculture sector. Mainly the service sector. This sector accounts for 60% of the country's GDP.
And see, the Philippines is a big call center country. And that's part of service. So I didn't even think about that. India's got a big call center industry.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
So those are part of services that I didn't think about.
Yeah, same here.
And 56% of employment today.
But it was.
And these numbers were achieved due to the package that people of Philippines offer. The country's professionals speak necessary global languages. In addition, they have less wages than the Western countries. Also, the country's average age is 25 years. That means more people available to work.
So low.
Hence, all of this made Philippines one of the largest business process outsourcing country. Apart from this, the Philippines government is trying to attract foreign direct investments. And bringing up the infrastructure is their way to go. Several economic zones are already active and have attracted investments, as the industrial sector contributes 30% to the country's GDP. Now, good things aside, the agriculture sector, which once accounted for 1/3 of Philippines' GDP, went down to 9% in 2018. Yet government is making efforts to make that stable again. As to grow faster, the balanced combination of agriculture, services, and industry is required. Even though the Philippine economy did not grow much until the 21st century, they saw a significant growth in the last 20 years. And we could see them more economically strong in the future. Let's go to Malaysia now.
I agree with
The
that.
economy of
I think
Malaysia is
Philippines
the
gonna
third
grow
largest in Southeast
rapidly
Asia. Also one of the fastest growing economies. Today their manufacturing and service sector is largest contributor to the economy. But if you see this graph, you will understand that.
I have a feeling I'm way wrong on the service sector.
I do too.
I apparently I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
So if you do know, let me know down in the comments, because I don't want to.
Yeah, instead of calling us stupid, inform us in the comments and let us know, because I'm assuming that the service sector is completely different than what it probably apparently is.
Yeah, right. Actually, we're doing
The share of GDP of manufacturing sector peaked close to 31% in 1999. Thereafter, it declined almost continuously every year, and had declined to 22% by 2016.
Okay, so the service sector consist of the production of services instead of end products, which still sounds the same. Right?
Yeah.
The services may involve transport, distribution, and sale of goods from producer to the consumer, or may happen in wholesaling and retailing, pest control, or entertainment. That's a weird definition. I feel like they could have changed the name.
That did not help me.
No, I feel like they could have changed the name for that.
Somebody dumbed down service.
Yeah,
sector
please
for
do.
us.
Like that quick Wikipedia article didn't exactly do it for us. But it still sounds like it's within the country.
Right.
Like it's between you and me.
But when you think about the call center aspect of it, because again, that is big in India and the Philippines.
Which that falls in service.
Right. So what other things? Nursing. A lot of Filipinos are nurses.
I don't think that qualifies.
I don't
as
think that would
service.
qualify either, though.
I think that would be medical.
Yeah.
Service
be wrong,
sector
though.
share
I
of
don't know.
GDP has gradually increased from 32% in 1974 to 53% in 2016. Though Malaysia's manufacturing sector's growth has declined, it still produces a large amount of products. Assembly of electronic equipment, electrical machinery, appliances, and production of chemicals and textiles is done in Malaysia. In addition, the country is a major producer of rubber and palm oil, petroleum, natural gas, and is one of the largest sources of commercial hardwoods. One another advantage that Malaysia has is, it is strategically situated between Singapore and Thailand. Because of that, Malaysia provides the perfect investment opportunity for foreign businesses, while promoting convenient access to other expanding markets within Asia.
Nice to have a house right there.
One of the reasons behind this economic growth is, since the early 1970s, the government has championed a social and economic restructuring strategy, known as the New Economic Policy. Also, the privatization of many public sector activities promoted private investment and infrastructure development. So, with continued technological development and infrastructure growth, Malaysia could emerge as an economic superpower. Now let's take Indonesia. The economy of Indonesia is the largest in Southeast Asia, and is one of the emerging market economies of the world. Indonesia has made enormous gains in poverty reduction, by cutting the poverty rate by more than half since 1999. The country hasn't suffered negative GDP growth since 1998. Indonesia's economy is mainly based on trade, manufacturing, and services. In that, manufacturing is a large component of the country's economy. It contributes 20% of their GDP. The country is also a major exporter of crude petroleum and natural gas.
I've said this before, but a lot of my clothes, I'll notice, will say made in Indonesia. So their manufacturing is, at least in the clothing, or at least with the clothes I buy, they're from Indonesia.
He buys all his clothes from a Indonesian bazaar.
Yeah.
In addition, Indonesia is one of the world's main suppliers of rubber, coffee, cocoa, and palm oil. Yet the economic growth of Indonesia is lower than expected from past few years. And this is due to lack of infrastructure. Although large and growing population is major advantage to attract foreign investors. But this could happen only if infrastructure improvements are made to promote higher GDP growth. As this would also help Indonesia to get out of the middle income trap and rise as an economic power.
What is all this? This looks dope.
Yeah.
And it goes all the way over here, and it looks like these have the same building designs. Let us know down in the comments what that is. If you know, don't just get.
So, in the coming time, these could be the next countries to show a major influence
That's where the
in the
Avengers
world economy.
live.
Yet the pandemic we all are going through makes things more uncertain to predict. Still, we would love to know your views on this. Please write them in the comments section below.
I feel like they didn't tell us anything of who we think is going to be.
Well, it's
the
next economic powers.
Oh,
so
powers.
it's saying that, they all have a chance. And don't be biased in the comments. If you live in India,
Don't just
be an India lover. If you live in Vietnam, Philippines, Malaysia, don't just be your country's lover. Truly, who do you think has the upper hand right now in becoming a
because based off what we learned,
higher
Indonesia
economy.
has a big challenge with their
infrastructure?
capital infrastructure.
Yeah. based off of everything we heard in the video, Malaysia seems like they have the biggest advantage.
Right.
Ah,
Yeah. I mean,
it truly does.
yeah.
And I could kind of see that already just because Malaysia's economy has been doing very well in the past. It's growing very rapidly. And so I assumed that from the beginning that Malaysia would be, the top. That's not out of me picking favorites or anything. That's just based off of every video that we've watched about all these different countries. It just made more sense.
Philippines would be up there too.
Yes. Oh, I agree.
And I feel like they've missed out on a lot of things that we've learned about the Philippines and stuff. To be fair, we haven't learned a lot about India's economic system. I just know...
It seems as though every time we do a video on India's economics or anything, we get a lot of backlash.
Well, that's why I've stopped caring.
Yeah, we've kind of backed off on Indian videos because most of our Indian viewership don't like us.
Yeah. So what I've read, since I truly, y'all can come at me, that's fine. But like India has a serious issue with poverty. He mentioned that too.
Yeah.
I had read that they hadn't even counted the amount of, I don't know if they said homeless or people that live under poverty levels. Mm-hmm. And so the UN did an analysis themselves because you're supposed to count every 10 years or something like that. And they hadn't counted it over the last like 20 years. And they figured it was over 370 million people are in poverty.
Wow. Which
is more than the population of the United States.
Right.
So that's why I'm like, when we've done videos, we're like, no, it's perfect. We're but I think that's a huge hit. Like that's going to affect a lot of things.
Yeah.
Especially if you're an economic power. But guys, to be real honest, we don't know.
Yeah.
We're just guessing. We're playing the guessing game.
All we can do is watch these videos, listen to your guys' comments, and
make our stupid opinions.
Yeah.
Non-educated opinions. But guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you want to see our future videos, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. And if you want to support us directly, hit the join button. And with that being said,
my name is Miles.
My name is Fez.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Peace
out.